Hey guys, very good afternoon from BYJU'S exam prep. So guys, SNAP is completely over. We have done the analysis for all the three slots and gave you a basic idea about what can be expected to be the cutoff for this year's SNAP exam. However, we promised that we'll come back to you with a complete breakdown of different colleges which are under SNAP and what could be the cutoffs going this year. So the session today is about the SNAP colleges and the expected cutoff based on this year's three slots of SNAP. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at what we have in store, what kind of cutoffs are we looking at. The other thing I've also done for you is basically put colleges, in my opinion, that are similar in structure, similar in ranking, similar in seats, or similar, not seats, more importantly, the average packages together. So you will know, for example, if you talk about Symbiosis Pune, SIBM Pune, what are the colleges which are in that range? If you talk about SIIB, what are the colleges which are in that range? So I have that comparison also, so that you guys can be in a good position to apply to those colleges depending upon what score you're getting in which exam. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. First, the question you need to answer for yourself, and which is already made very clear, abundantly clear by SNAP. Is there any normalization? No, there is no more normalization, because before 2020 the SNAP exam used to be conducted only once. But because of the COVID, 2021, 2020, 21, 22, there were, the whole issue was you cannot have too many people in a particular center. So in 2020, they broken it up into three parts. So 2020, 21, 22, I believe all these 3 years we have three slots, and it's very clearly mentioned on the website that there is no further normalization at all, and no questions whatsoever will ever be entertained with this regard. Okay, so please don't keep your expectation on any kind of normalization. Okay, so we can attempt SNAP, in fact not twice, this is thrice, and the best score among it will be taken into consideration. Now, SNAP cutoffs. So let me give you a snapshot of what happens in the SNAP cutoffs. So if you look at the percentiles, if you notice, slowly has been going up. So the requirement for SIBM Pune and SEMHRD Pune slowly has started going up. 97.6, 97. So this used to be around 97, and it has gone up to 98 in 2019. 2020 also it was 98 plus. 2021 also it was 98 plus. So the percentiles have been stagnant at around 98 for the last 2 years. But earlier it was a little bit lower, but now you can assume that it's going to be at the same range. Whereas for SEMHRD, it has always been in that 97.4, 97.5 range, and I'm expecting the same thing to be this year also. It will not change. Percentile will not change. However, the scores keep changing every year. So if you look at the score, if you look at 20, 20 and 21, 20 was an easy paper, 2020. Because that's the first time they introduced three slots. So usually what you need to understand is when the pattern changes, normally this is a trend I have observed as a part of, for MBA entrance exams. Whenever they change the pattern, the question paper is, kept a little bit easier compared to what you expect. Because or the examiner already knows that the student is a bit confused. So they are normally nice people, so they sometimes try to make your life happy by giving you easier questions when the paper pattern has changed. So you can see 43.5 was the cutoff. That is for the 97 percentile, and 98 percentile was about 46, 2020. It was a very nice, easy paper. Very easy paper. With respect to that, understand what happened last year, 2020. So the paper pattern was the same, it did not change. So this is again something which I observed. When the pattern continues, the difficulty level goes up, right? Because there's nothing new. The students don't have to worry about, breaking their head on what is the new thing which is happening. They're getting what is expected. So when you are giving, so if I'm a faculty, I'm giving you what is expected, I will give you a nice moderate to higher level paper. It's not going to be an easy one. So that is what happened. So 40.1 was the 97 percentile last year, and 41 to 41.5, that's in the range. In fact, if I remember it correctly, it's 41.2 3 something in that range. This was the 98 percentile, which was for the SABM Pune. Now 2021, so different slots had different cutoffs. Now this is what you need to understand what happened last year for the percentile. So in slot 1, people who wrote slot 1 at a 96 percentile, they got in the range of 38 to 40. So you can see that there is a 1 mark difference here and there for different slots. 1 mark difference here and there. So the question you need to ask is, what is going to happen this year? Now again, this is the third year, 2020, 21, 22. Third year without a paper change, pattern change, and the same pattern has continued. So this year the paper relatively has been a bit more lengthy, a bit more difficult compared to what SNAP is all about. So if you compare this, there's a huge difference. In fact, if you compare the last year and this year also, there's a huge difference. So we estimate, that is this year's cutoff for your SABM Pune, that is 98 percentile, is going to be in the range of 38.5 to 39 marks. That is the range that I'm looking at. And for your SEM HRD, which is at a 97 percentile, could be anywhere in the range of 36.5 to 37. That is the range that I'm estimating this year's cutoff to be. But that's not it. Like Vishal Pandit is asking, I'm going to give you a sense of what will happen to the other college cutoffs also. Because these are not the only 2 top colleges. We have SIBM Pune, SIBM Bangalore, we have SIIB, we have SIOM, SIDTM. There are a lot of other colleges. So let's go ahead and take a look at the expected cutoff scores for each one of these colleges. But before that, once again, a word on the normalization. Okay, is the normalization fair? Many of you have asked, in fact they have been asking me throughout. My answer will be coming to you by examining the 3 issues that happened this year. First issue, it is, in my opinion, I have been a professional trainer for the last 15 years of my life. It is very difficult, my friends, if I have to maintain no normalization, create 3 papers where the questions are not identical. Please remember, the questions here are not identical. I have to create questions from similar topics, but the questions have to be different. Given this condition, it is very difficult to create 3 papers of the same level. They will not be of the same level. They will not be of the same level. So definitely there will be 1 to 2 marks difference. And you know, in a competitive exam, 2 marks difference is a huge thing. You know, people miss out because of the 2 marks. So in my opinion, is it fair? I would say no. Because as an examiner, you are giving 3 papers to different sets of students. Yes, some of them will write more than once, but you are not supposed to assume that everybody is writing more than once, so how does it matter? That's not how your exam is supposed to be conducted. But given that, I would say that it is unfair on the first term. Let's examine from the second perspective. You have errors in the paper. Definitely there were clear-cut errors in this year's SNAP 2022 paper. Every slot had some error or the other. In fact, first slot I believe had 1 error, third slot had 1 error, and if I'm not mistaken, the middle slot, that is slot number 2 on 18th December, had 2 errors. Now, when you're not normalizing, how will you account for these errors? Yes, if there is 1 error everywhere, you can say that fine, everybody gets 1 mark less. But here, the second slot had 2 errors. Let us say there are not 2 errors, but hypothetically speaking, what is the plan? If there are different number of errors, what will you do? Because somebody is writing for 59 marks, somebody is writing for 60 marks, somebody is writing for 58 marks. Then how will you look at it? So then the whole idea is you are looking at 98 percentile levels and 97 percentile levels score slot wise. So the way in which the college will have to go ahead and do that is, look, I will not compare the scores directly. I will look at a 98 percentile in each one of these slots and look at the people who got above 98 percentile in each one of these slots. That's one way of arguing. Okay. Few questions were repetitive. Yes, that is there. And so that is also there in my third point. Let me finish my second point. That's good that you mentioned. Okay. Arju, there is no category for symbiosis colleges. Unfortunately, there is no category there as far as I know. So it's all considered as single category because it's a private university. But anyway, so yes, there are errors. Now, Here also there's a problem. What if the first slot had an error in English? First of all, error in English, many of us will not even know. You'll just mark something and come out. But an error in quant is a problem because many of you will solve quant or logical reasoning or analytical reasoning. You solve and there is no answer. You get stuck there. In English, there is nothing called getting stuck because you don't know the answer, you leave it. But imagine a simple quadratic equation question or a simple linear equation question, you're solving it and the answer is not there. How much of pressure and tension the student will take because it's a 60 minutes exam. You know this is an easy question, you know this is one of the scoring questions and the answer is not there. So this is highly unfair in my opinion when the paper is not, you are making 3 question papers in a year and you end up making erroneous papers in that also. So guys, in my opinion, when a college is making 3 papers in an entire year or 4, this year there were 4 papers, I don't know how many of you know this, but this information, in fact I also realized this a bit late. There were some centers on the 23rd of December, that is last Friday, the last exam slot. It was conducted in 2 different timings. On 23rd of December, the first slot was normal 2 to 3. There was another slot from 4:30 to 5:30. So that was the extra paper which was conducted because they could not conduct it 2 to 3 everywhere in the country. So for some parts where they could not conduct 2 to 3, they conducted it at 4:30 to 5:30. Because of which they had another paper, so there were totally 4 slots this year. Okay, now the whole idea is when you are creating 4 papers of 60 questions, it's 6 4s are 24, 240 questions. Being a college of this level, you cannot make errors like this. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, and so that was new to me too. Even I didn't know, but one of my colleagues, when I called my colleague, she was like, I'm just getting into the college because the exam got over from 2 to 3. I called her at about 4 o'clock. I didn't even know about this. She was saying that her exam time slot is at 4:30. That's when I came to know that there's a 4th slot too this year. Anyway, so that was, from that perspective also, I would say this is not fair. And finally, additional information for later test takers. As some of you said, some questions were repetitive. For example, if I took the test only in the first slot, I will not have the additional information that a person who's taking second time and the third time will have. So a person taking the test multiple times ideally would be at an advantage because the person knows, for example, slot 1 and slot 3 were identical, and by slot 1 end you already know what to expect in slot 2. So people who already wrote the exam in slot 1 and then going and writing again in slot 2, I would believe that they will be having an advantage because psychologically they know what is going to happen. They will make up for it. They will plan their strategy accordingly. Even if you didn't write in the slot 1, the slot 2 people will have a tremendous advantage with respect to the analysis that has been done by BYJU'S exam prep and other institutes for that matter. And you know what to expect. You know there is no RC, so you'll not prepare for an RC anyway. So, and so on and so forth. So these are the things which will compel a student to write the exam more than once. That has always been my advice too for SNAP. Write it more than once and don't hesitate to write it in the first slot. Doesn't matter, take it as a practice. Unfortunately, that is not how an exam is supposed to be done, but that's how it is right now in SNAP. Okay. I answered a question twice in slot 2, just question number changed and the exam's same exact question. Right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the top colleges, guys. So these are the top colleges under Symbiosis. In fact, this is the list of the entire colleges under Symbiosis. And these are the course fee. I'll keep the slide on and I've arranged them in the decreasing order of ranking. Of course, the rank number 1 is SIBM Pune, the number 1 college under SNAP. The second best college is SCMHRD Pune. The third best college is SIBM Bangalore. Then we have, I would say this is 4th SIIB. And then you will have SSBF Symbiosis School of Banking and Finance. Then we have SIBM Hyderabad. In fact, okay, this is these are arranged in the MBA course fee rise. The next slide will give you the cutoffs and that will tell you the expected cutoff and the ranking. This is not arranged ranking wise, but these are arranged the course fee wise. Then you have SIBM Hyderabad, SCIT Pune, SIDTM Pune. So you have a list of colleges here. These are the various colleges and their 2 years fee. Okay, I'm coming in the middle. Okay, tech team, I would ask you to reduce my size a little so that the frame is not covered. Thanks, Vikas, for pointing it out. I didn't notice it. Sorry. Okay. Right, let's move on. So these are the cutoffs for this year, guys. I am putting similar kind of numbers that I've already spoken about. SIBM 37.5 to 38, so I'm just putting 38. And these are the cutoffs that we are expecting for different colleges. So guys, you've all been asking me, I'm getting 27, I'm getting 32, I'm getting 33, what colleges can I get? Please look at it. This is the slide for the cutoff. So if you're getting above 30, or if you're getting, 30 or less than 30, these are the colleges for you. 30, I'm assuming, will be for these two colleges, SICSR and SIDTM. If you're getting in the range of 28, it would be these two colleges, SCIT, SIMS. 27 would be SIMC. Then you're looking at 24, it would be these three colleges. SIBM Hyderabad, as you can see, in terms of cutoff, goes very, very low. If you're looking at ranking wise, the cutoffs is the true indication of ranking, because people who are getting good scores will go for a good college. So this is actually the ranking for me within Symbiosis. So number 1, number 2, number 3, then you have SIBM Bangalore, number 4, and so on and so forth. So SIOM Nashik, it's a very good college for operations and so on and so forth. So please take a look at it. When will NMIMS cutoff be out? Yatin, NMIMS cutoffs, not cutoff, scorecard, I'm assuming you're talking about scorecard. So NMIMS scorecard should be out quite soon. I'm expecting it to be out in the last few days. That is, today is already 26. So 31st of December, or if they don't want to really spoil your party, probably they will be nice and release it after the January 1st. CAT used to do that January 2nd, January 3rd, they used to come out with the results. This time the CAT result came out 12 days early, that's fine. But yeah, you can expect it in the last 2 days of December or the first 3-4 days of January. You can expect that, but I will not be surprised if it gets delayed a little bit. But yeah, that's my expectation. How is SIB? SIB what? Everything is an SIB in this. SIBM Bangalore, as you can see, in under Symbiosis, I would rank it as number 4, pretty decent, just below SIIB, almost similar to your, in fact, I'll do this, I've got this comparison also, guys. I have taken each college here, and in the next slides, I have given you comparison of other colleges with respect to this colleges. So we are calling it as a cluster. This college and a group of other colleges will fall under the same range according to us. So we have made this analysis for you, and we will I'll take you through the slide, so please be patient for a minute. I hope all of you have taken whatever you need from this. IIFT response sheet, I am also expecting that, Anshita, everything is delayed this time for whatever reason. In fact, IIFT this time, they gave out the admit card just 2 days before, and they released something called as your city center in between, exam center, exam city in between, because they knew that they were delayed for whatever reason. So IIFT for some reason this year is delayed, but yes, you can, again, all these should be coming out in the first week of January, worst case scenario. So keep your, fingers crossed. SIBM Nagpur Palak would not be rated that high as of this point in time, because SIBM Hyderabad, I believe, was introduced before Nagpur, but it's still not in my top list, right? What are chances of NMAT score of 222? Khushbu 222 and NMIMS Mumbai is very difficult. NMIMS Mumbai you can't get at 222. Okay? Snap does not release response sheet, Aryan. Okay. What can be the cutoff for IDM program of FCM HRD? Harsha, I will please put that as a comment or ask that as a comment. I will do my research and get back to you. Frankly, I don't have an answer. I don't want to randomly talk about a number. It's not at the top of my hand. I'll definitely get back to you. Please put that as a comment. Okay. Zainul Arfin says 87.7 percentile. No, Zainul, very difficult. You can get 87.7. You can, if you are lucky, get 1 or 2 baby IIMs. Otherwise, no good college from the IIMs. Right? Okay, guys. So let's take a look at it. Symbiosis, SIBM Pune. This is the category. In this category, what are the other colleges that are comparable to this? That is a slide. Okay. SIBM Pune is ranked similar to what other colleges. So if you are comparing colleges, this is how it should be for SIBM Pune. So I have these 5 areas. One is the place, one is the program, one is SNAP percentile. What are you looking at? But the most important parts are what is your average package, lakhs per annum. So SIBM Pune boasts of around 23 lakhs per annum and it has 180 seats. The comparable colleges to SIBM Pune are your NMAT Mumbai, the core branch or the flagship program. It has 17 to 18 lakhs package simply because they have 500 and more students. So what you need to understand here, why am I saying they are similar while you can see that there is a 5 lakh difference here? The difference is simply because this batch size is 1/3 the batch size of NMIMS Mumbai. So if you compare similar, the top 200 of NMIMS and the entire 180 students of SIBM Pune, I'm pretty sure that NMIMS will also have a really comparable number. But the problem is when you have 500 students, automatically the average will go down, right? So that's the reason why I will say NMIMS Mumbai is similar, what I call it as group as your SIBM Pune. So usually students ask, sir, where should I go, SIBM Pune or NMIMS Mumbai? Guys, SIBM Pune, NMIMS Mumbai, there's only one problem. The fees is higher. In fact, there are 2-3 problems. The fees is higher. Yes, it is in Mumbai, that's the advantage, but you don't have a big campus there. It's in one of the prime locations, but you'll have everything going for you in the Bombay area, but you will not have the kind of campus life that you would probably love to have. So that's one of the problems for NMIMS Mumbai, but otherwise the colleges are similar in terms of opportunities, right? Similarly, you have NITI. NITI PGDISEM, not the flagship program. This is environmental, so there's a program which is on environmental side. So I don't remember the full form for this. I just checked it in the morning, but I still don't remember. It's I think some environmental management, but that's the program which offered by NITI, not the flagship program. Guys, NITI flagship program is definitely rated above all of these that I'm discussing right now. That is not the program right now. This is for the PGDISEM program. Again, the average package is about 14 lakhs. It's a very, very small size, but I would put it in the cluster of SIBM Pune simply because this is a very specialized program. Somebody wants to get into this kind of a specialization, that is environmental management kind of a specialization. Similarly, Lucknow has a sustainability management kind of a specialization. These are all small batches, 50, 55, 70, 60, that kind of batches. But they have really good offers coming in, and if you want to have this kind of a career going forward, then this is one of the top-notch colleges to get into. Okay, then you look at all these 3 IIMs of the new ones, which are IIM Ranchi, Trichy and Udaipur, the top 3 performing IIMs of the new IIMs. They would be in the similar cluster of your SIBM Pune simply because their average salaries are comparable, the batch strength is comparable. The most important part is the average fee you're paying there is lesser than SIBM Pune. Okay, so that's what we have. Akash, 5 years work experience, SIBM Bangalore or Goa instead of, I would always say SIBM Bangalore if you can get into it. Okay, next college is SEMHRD and the group of colleges which are in the cluster of SEMHRD. Once again, the average package here is 20.4. The seat size, the batch size is 180, a very moderate batch. And the next top 3 IIMs are already gone in the new ones. The other 3 new IIMs, which are your Raipur, Kashipur and Rohtak, will be in this particular range. This is averages are in the range of 16 to 17 lakhs. So that's comparable to your SEMHRD, and the number of seats are also, you can see, about 120 to 250. So that's again the range which is comparable to your SIBM Pune. This would be my cluster for SEMHRD. These colleges you can debate should you go to SEMHRD or to these colleges, because these have the most important IIM name. Because of the IIM brand, some people prefer taking an IIM Raipur or a Kashipur over an SEMHRD. I'm not saying you should take it, but yes, it could be in your consideration set. MSB Home 201 NMAT is NMAMS Hyderabad possible? Yes, I believe it is possible. Alright, so let's move on. So which institute would accept NMAT score of 231? Kea, if you are lucky, you can get NMAT, NMIMS Mumbai itself this year, because we are expecting the NMIMS cutoff this year to be in the range of 232, 233. If you're lucky, it will come down to 231 also. Fingers crossed. It's a less than 10-15% chance for you, but it is possible. But except NMIMS Mumbai, you'll get all of the calls at 231. Okay. SIBM Hyderabad, Khadija, again, as I said, look at this, look at this list. In my list, my SIBM Hyderabad is in the almost bottom. You can see the cutoff. The cutoff is only 24, because of which I would say that it is not one of the top colleges for me. Okay. 36 to 36.5, Bhargav, SEMHRD should be possible, because I'm saying 36.5 is the SEMHRD is what I'm expecting. So it's finger crossed, you're just on the borderline okay. 236 is a decent score, Nihal, this year for NMIMS Mumbai. If you get 236, I think you should be getting a conversion. At least the call conversion I'm talking about. Okay. Let's move on, guys. So that's your SEMHRD colleges. The next is your colleges which are of the level of SIIB Pune. So the average fees is about 14.65 lakhs for you to understand. And the average package, now we are talking about colleges which are in the 13, 11, 12, 13 lakhs average package. So you're talking about a ton of colleges. The moment you get to this 11 to 12 lakhs average package, there are a lot of colleges which will be in this range. So you have your, Master of HR and Organizational Behavior, Organizational Development, DSC University. Then you have IIM Bodh Gaya. You're getting into the baby IIMs now. IIM Jammu. Then you have DMS. Then Goa Institute of Management. Then you have KJ Somaya. Then you have BIM. Then you have BITS Pilani Department of Management. And then you have IIM Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Management, Sirmar. It's not Shillong, Sirmar. All these are the baby IIMs. So Shillong goes way before the list, so before all of this list, so don't worry. But yes, Sirmar is one of the other baby IIMs. So you can see this league is made up of a ton of baby IIMs, few private colleges, and of course, we are comparing all of them in line with SIIB Pune. So what are the colleges which are competing in this range? You can take a look at it and you can see which one is feasible for you. Okay. In fact, see, this is DMS is one of the very good options, because it's one of the lowest charging colleges in this list, and you can see the ROI is almost 3 times of it. So one of the good colleges, but again, as a brand, DMS is decent, but again, you might always argue, is DMS better or an IIM brand is better? I would always say an IIM brand is better over a DMS, but then in terms of immediate relief, in terms of the fee and what you can expect in 2 years, this will win the entire argument. But again, it's a decision of money versus brand name in the long term. So that's the decision you're looking at. But let's move on. And the last set of colleges are here. This is the set of colleges which are in the range of SIBM Bangalore. Keeping aside the IIM brand, baby IIMs versus SIIB, if you take out the IIM brands, if you take out the brand of IIMs, then I would probably say SIIB, because in fact you can see that, okay, the fees is actually a bit higher, but look at the fees over here. So you have similar kind of fees. Jammu is charging you a ton. In fact, you have yes, Sirmar. Okay, we didn't get the fee for Sirmar. Packages are similar. Probably, guys, so you have to look at individual college to college. So if you take out the brand of IIM, the baby IIM versus SIIB, the way to look at that is the cost benefit analysis, because all of them have decent campuses now. The baby IIMs have established themselves, they have campuses, they are getting good placements. So they are on the growth trajectory. But remember, SIIB is more or less plateaued out. It will not go beyond this drastically. It can keep increasing 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh every year, but it is not going to go from 11 lakhs to 20 lakhs in 1 year. It is not going to happen like that. It's more or less steady. Whereas the new IIMs will keep growing. So if you take out the brand name, it's difficult to compare. I will always say compare it with what you can expect. So, even if you take out the brand name, as of now, if you look at the numbers, I would say it's a tight competition between SIIB and the new IIMs, and I would still favor the IIMs which have better ROI, lesser fee, simply because at the end of the day, if you don't consider the brand name, then you have to look at the money-wise matters. So that's the way, or that's my analysis, right? I hope that answers Manspreet. 87.21 baby IIM calls, Manspreet, again depends on your luck. Usually the baby IIMs start calling you at around 91 percentile. There will be some IIMs which will give you a lower percentile also, but you'll have to wait and see what happens this year. Business Analytics, Khadija, SIBM Bangalore, depending upon what other options you have, it is a decent course. Business Analytics is a decent course. But again, the question is it worth to whom? What is your other option? Guys, please remember, if you ask me, sir, is it a good college? Is it worth joining there? It's a difficult question for me to answer because I don't know what are the other options you have. There are students who leave even IIM Ahmedabad because they have something better else to do in life. I'm not taking the extreme case, but I'm trying to explain to you that when you ask me, sir, is this college good? Now, good with respect to what? Every college absolutely is good. You can't say any college is bad, because if it is bad, why are people going there? The point you need to understand is always ask a college in comparison. You can't ask me, is this college good? If I ask you, is Ahmedabad good? You will say yes. I will say no. Why? Because I'm comparing it with probably a Harvard, which is a world-known college. Now, Ahmedabad is also known across the world. There's nothing wrong. But in ranking terms, Harvard will probably be in the top 4 or 5 and Ahmedabad will be in the top 20 or 25. So again, I'm trying to explain to you, please don't ask me whether a college is good or a course is good. Everything absolutely is good. It's always relative comparison that you need to ask me. Okay? I hope I made it clear. Should I fill SIIB? My snap went decent. I don't expect anything from CAT. Should I keep SIIB as an option? Yeah, definitely yes, Vijay. You should keep SIIB as an option. Okay, let's move on, guys. And the last set of colleges are here. All the colleges which are in line with your SIBM Bengaluru. So you have SIOM, the Nashik College, SITM, SIMS, SIMC. So in this list itself, you have a lot of symbiosis colleges coming in. Apart from the symbiosis colleges, you have LBS, you have IFMR, and you have IMI. If you have IMI New Delhi, I think there should be IMT Ghaziabad also in this range, because IMI Delhi and IMT Ghaziabad are close by in terms of the cluster for me. So you have IMI New Delhi, there should be IMT Ghaziabad also in the same rank, in the same league, and you'll be looking at similar kind of packages, 11 to 12. But again, here the reason why we put IMI Delhi here is because the fees is quite high, and while the reward is good, but the fees is very high compared to the other colleges in this cluster. So you're talking about 15 to 14, 10, 12, maximum being 15. This is going beyond that, 5 lakhs beyond that. That is the reason why, otherwise at this range, this should have come in the previous cluster. The only reason why we're putting it here is because of the very high fees. But again, you can always debate about it. Even IMT Ghaziabad is a very good brand. So why am I putting it here? Simply because of a huge batch size there. It's about 600 batch size. Brad Jacob, if you're getting anywhere 39 to 40, you can guaranteed expect a SIBM Pune call. No doubt about it. Okay. Expected NM Mumbai cutoff, Yatin, should be around 232 to 233 this year. Alright, let's move on. Fine. So guys, I'll take a few more questions if there are any coming from your side. Any chances for Great Lakes, 84% in CAT? It's a bit difficult, I believe. anything about IIM Amritsar? No, this is Chirag. This is not a session for the IIMs. This was a session on SIBM and symbiosis colleges. So I have kept only those colleges which are coming into the cluster here. Any colleges could have been missed. So if you have any further comments, please put it in the comment section, guys. We will definitely come back and answer. We are present in all these challenges, all these channels. Make sure that you're following us. We are conducting a ton of sessions for you for the ZAT exam. I'm taking last lap sessions. My colleagues are taking last lap sessions. There'll be a lot of content coming your way, my friends, especially for the decision making part. Also, we'll be coming back to you with all the exam analysis. So please stay tuned into our channels. Hopefully, you will make through many of the options that you have with you. Thank you and all the very best.